Good morning. Welcome to TUYAIOUT Radio on CIUT 89.5 FM. I'm Nicole Inica Hamilton, back to open up with you about the latest on the dance scene and the heart of what moves us. Sending you all the love and light this morning. Thank you for tuning in to share time and rhythm with us. Welcome to this dance space. Well, as we flow to the rhythm of today's show, I invite you to come in as we explore the stories that live both on and beyond the stage. And listen, today, I've been sitting this morning with my coffee cup in my hand, no different than any other day, sitting in this space of reflection, considering our connection, my connection to the dance, purpose-centered creating, and thinking about the stories that manifest from our very own lived experiences. Well, my guest today has been known to say the following: if not now, when? And every day we have to fight for something. So fight for your joy. Coming up on the show, choreographer, creative director, performer, and founder of Africa in America, Kara Mack, is in the house and will be with me for the full hour to delve into all of the above. So stay tuned, folks, and stay locked in right here to CIUT 89.5 FM. We're going to take a break and be right back with Kara Mack right after this. Welcome back to TUYAIOUT Radio. I'm Nicole Inica Hamilton. My guest today, Kara Mack, is a choreographer, creative director, performer, and the founder of Africa in America. Her work includes credits in film and television, such as serving as movement coach for Margot Robbie in Babylon and assistant choreographer for Coming to America 2 and The Color Purple. She was the choreographer for Freeform's Good Trouble and co-choreographed for Chance the Rapper on Saturday Night Live. Additionally, she has worked as an assistant choreographer on projects for NBA, Disney, NBC, and Fox. Now, Kara has been involved in major music and awards show performances, assisting on Kendrick Lamar's performance at the 58th Grammy Awards and Busta Rhymes' performance at the 2021 MTV Video Music Awards. She has performed at events such as the Grammys, BET Awards, NAACP Image Awards, and Billboard Music Awards, and has worked with Kanye West's Sunday service at Coachella. Please join me in welcoming the ever so delightful Kara Mack. Kara, welcome to TUYAIOUT Radio.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I'm so delighted to welcome you to the show today. How are you doing?
I am actually full, you know. It's a lot going on in the world, but at the same time, it just fills me up with, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and this needs to happen now. So all of the things, yes, tired. I am a mother of 3 and all of those things, but I wouldn't want to be doing anything else in the world right now. So grateful and full.
What does the scope of fullness mean for you?
It's absolutely knowing your purpose. And so basically, if you have a perspective shift on life, things will happen, hurt will happen, trauma will happen, pain will happen. But knowing your purpose basically means that you're married to the assignment. not married to what is happening at the time, not married to what may happen in the future, which causes worry and anxiety. But if you're married and committed and 10 toes down into what you believe you are here to do on this earth, then that's what creates fullness. That's what creates peace, the peace that everyone is so seeking. That's what creates stillness. It's like, I want to see people still in the midst of chaos. That's when I know that your piece is real. Not when you curate and facilitate a facade of what peace may look like. No. Are you still and are you planted while everything may be falling apart around you? And that's where I am right now in my life. And I'm so grateful. So that's what I mean by full.
Do you find that there is a deeper connection to self that can be found in the stillness?
Oh, yes. A part of the bio that a lot of people don't know about me is that I'm a religious studies major. So I have my master's in even divinity. And so the understanding is that is what everyone seeks. And it's just everyone in their different ethnic groups with their different interpretation of what that means to them. And so, out of all of the proverbs and the spiritual advice, advice and all of, we're really seeking to be still, to be planted. What does that feel like? What does that mean? And so, as an artist, I am grateful to be able to explain that through artistic, goofy, manifestations of what that means. So sometimes I'm saying to people, hey, the ship crashed, but take that piece of wood and hold on for your, like, and just float, but hold on to whatever piece is left. And so when people are hearing, even though I'm making them laugh at the same time, they're hearing, like, okay, this is how an artist would explain how to go through. It's not belittling, what's going on, or when people go through personal stuff that may leave them shaken. But it's like with all of the different ethnic groups that have given us thousands of years of, you know what, nothing is new under the sun. So here's my advice. When this happens, do this. When this happens, do this. And so I'm just mainly always focusing on this is what planted looks like. You will have many artists stopping the creativity that's supposed to come out. Because that's basically what happens whenever you go through something or whenever you are shaken or thrown off your square, it stops the creativity. So it shouldn't be a shock for people to see that when times like this happen, what's the first thing that's on the attack? Art. With society, we're always put low on the totem pole. It's psychological, so it's always like you're not worth anything because you may be an artist, but at the same time, you're seeing in real time, we're the first to be pulled on and we're the first to be cut. So, what is it about artistic disciplines that's so dangerous? Ah, that's what it is. Because it's no way to actually control it. Once it's out, once it's seen, once it's heard, once it's felt, it's done. There's nothing that you could do. So the only thing that you really can do is get at the artists, either in groups or in individuals, and get them off their square. I'm caring about the independency and the self-sufficiency of artists so that, when my relationship with you may be for a season or a short time, but when I leave, you have to be the change. Like every room is not going to be non-toxic because you were with me. I'm not telling you that, but you have to be the change because that's the point. It's like when you are not the change, then creativity stops. All of this inspiration stops. And nah, nah, nah. That ain't gonna happen under my watch.
So you're taking me beneath the soil. You are taking me beneath the soil, which is where I love to go. In the stillness, Kara, is where I found what I think is the most profound spaces of peace for myself.
Hmm.
But in the stillness is also where I have unplucked and unraveled some of the deepest joy and the deepest pain that
Hmm.
exists within the fabric of who I am. And it also has unraveled my thoughts about my connection to others. And so when you think about the stillness, what have you learned?
One piece, and this is an exclusive. The next piece that I want to choreograph is something that I discovered and will continue to discover in the stillness. I want to do a piece where the projection is like a galaxy. So the projection is the stars and where meteors may fall, and just like whatever is happening in the atmosphere of the universe in space. But then there's a dancer that's all the way upstage left, that's in the corner. And so it's a perspective where in the corner, this one dancer is going through highs and lows, ups and downs. And so they're showing that through movement. But also, as an audience member, you're watching space, you're watching the stars, you're watching the planets, and you're seeing how small that dancer is to the perspective of the grand scheme of things. And so, as you see that one dancer going through what I would choreograph as the trajectory of their existence and their experience on Earth, once you put that into the grand scheme, you're like, oh my God, it's bigger than me. And that's scary. And that is why a lot of people run. Some people choose fasting to get to the stillness. Some people choose strictly meditation. I call that putting gas in your tank. You can't be able to drive your car on fumes. You can't be able to give to people unless you put gas in your tank. So, with that, and with me doing whatever it is for me at that time that puts me in a place of it's bigger than me, that's what I reflect on. It may go from like thinking about pain, it may go from thinking about joy, but it always goes back to care is bigger than you. Like the stars, it's so many people that you have no idea that's going through the same thing as you and that's putting out great work. So even though you may have never been introduced to them and possibly may never be introduced to them, it's happening. So that's where my peace is. That's where my hope is. I don't have to see it. And now I understand from my ancestors' point of view why they were so resilient. They didn't have to see it. It's just what are you doing in your lifetime that basically plants or creates more of a concrete, like you're laying the concrete to create this pathway for people that's coming after you that you know you will never see or experience, and you being okay with that. And that's what it is for me right now. It's like in this space, in this universe, what is my tiny contribution to it all? I am not God. It is not for me to carry the world. And so in this piece, it's like I want the audience to see, oh my God, like that human that's going up and down, arms up, falling down, going on the floor, that is going through, and then they go to softer movement. So that means that it's their, soft life period. Then they go back up and down, and it's more, all of that is happening. And it's like, oh, poor them. They're sweating and dry heaving and doing all of that. But look at the universe. And so everyone who's listening, just contribute to what I would like to call, from an African diasporic point of view, polyrhythmic life. Everybody has their rhythm, everybody has their place. Stick to your part in the rhythm so that everybody can appreciate the ensemble. If I want 5-part harmony, I need 5 parts. I don't want you to stand and be like, hey, I think 4 is good enough. I don't think I'm worthy to do the 5th part. No, 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 no. I need your part. And so for every artist out there, if no one else is saying it, I need your contribution to this polyrhythmic life because Black people from the motherland understood this thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. And it went through their music, their dance, everything is about everyone just doing a little bit, but being committed and solid, staying in the pocket. Look at that jazz term. Stay in the pocket, stick it. And whoo, that's where your peace will come from. And use everything. The pain, the hurt, the use everything is helping you stick it. Everyone that's a professional dancer, that stuff is it's not easy. It's hard. But you feel good when you at the end like, I stuck it this time. All my work is not returning to me in vain. Like I did it. All the musicians, same thing. You got John Coltrane that's every day, 12 hours a day on his sax. It's like put in the work. And so apply that to your life. Apply everything supplies what makes up who you are fully.
In the awareness of that positioning, that consideration of how small we are among the stars, but also how grand and big we are within the scope of what we can contribute to this world, to the atmosphere. I'm thinking about the level of faith and hope that can derive from that awareness and understanding.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Yes. I use the word marriage because with marriage, it is a commitment. It is contractually, spiritually, literally, philosophically, however you want to place it. So the question is, what are you married to? I chose long time ago to be married to the assignment. Whatever room I'm in, if I'm talking about jazz, jazz is a vernacular of dance and a music genre based off of everyone's understanding of being married to the rhythm, being married to the cadence, being married to the feel. It's not about if your index finger is in the right place. That's jazz is about the possibility of the thing. My world is expanded. My palette is expanded because I'm rooted in, I am married to the color, the narrative, the story, the cadence, and the polyrhythm of the music. And that's why I can freestyle and improv in any house, in any genre of music that I want. That is the foundation of jazz, that every musicality, timing, okay, that's where the downbeat is. Bam, that's my structure. That's all I need. I'm locked in. Now I can freely float to and fro. So everyone has to understand, even with the word freedom, unless you are married to that assignment, which is, okay, bring up the word purpose. Kara, I may not yet know what my purpose is. You start off with what literally gets you out of bed every day. What is that? Then you discover that is what your passion is. And your passion will lead you down the path to discovering what your purpose is. Now be married to that and that alone. So then, when anything comes in to intercept, distract, buckle, you are locked in on directions. What is the foundation of spotting? Before you even make the full turn, your head is already there because you're locked in to wherever you spotted at. It's the same thing with life. You are so eyes on the prize mentality about what your passion, which will develop in your understanding of what your purpose is. And so that's the hope.
Yes. Well, it takes us out of the performative space.
Yes.
So let's talk about getting away from that space of performative being.
Oh, I could go into singing a spiritual. Um, the performative. When I use that word, I'm basically talking about the the expression of art with no depth. It's like there is no standard, no moral, no why. It's basically like the way that we are using AI. You've mastered the calculations and the mechanisms, and you're able to replicate. In the performative, um, we have to get away from that because, as you can see, I believe that we've done too many years of that, that we are starting to lose even our rights as humans. Um, and I'm happy that with these alarms that are now going off around the world, that people are now being like, oh, no, 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 we got to say something, we got to do something. Everything goes in cycles. So I just wish that as we move forward, that we can have that urgency, both in times where we feel like things are good and also bad times, where we're actually committing ourselves to understanding history, context, nuances of all of these artistic disciplines, and let that be a constant, not let it be where the reason why a lot of vernaculars of dance and music have been disconnected from its Black roots, is specifically in the United States, because of the performative. For me to walk in a space and say jazz is Black, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people are looking at that statement like it's a revolutionary statement. And I'm not, it's not revolutionary. Like, pick up a read. Get the like, hold up. So you're saying that we're cutting out Dorothy Dandridge and Josephine Baker and the Nicholas brothers, and it just started from 1960s forward? So it's just those things where now, for those people in the 60s that added sauce and added their own sauce to the evolution of jazz, yes, that we will never discredit. But now you have people that will replicate 1 + 1 = 2. All right, how can we replicate that to capitalize off of it only? And there is no study on what preceded that. And that's basically what has, in 2026, has everybody like now trying to just go and try to get like, read this book, go to YouTube Academy to look at this document. We're trying to rush to get all it, but it's been there. So the performative has done all of us a disservice. And every space that I walk into, I am not going to do any 5, 6, 7, 8 without explaining the why, without explaining the context and the history and the ancestors that hurt their bodies to make a point, you know? I beg of people, like, let's really take the capitalistic version of art out. Go back to the essence of movement, the essence of feeling. The essence of it is what can move me. It has to be real, authentic, and genuine. And that will never be up under any performative umbrella. And we got to eradicate that.
More with Kara Mack coming up. You're listening to Turnout Radio on CIUT 89.5 FM. Kara, during the break, we were talking about how being married to the assignment unveils the truth of who we are. What are your thoughts?
So I'm going to go into my religious studies bag real quick. A lot of people from a lot of different perspectives discuss like choice and free will, and is everything written for us? Like, once I'm here, has it been said and done? And the way that I like to describe this is a house with many rooms. I like to teach history from that perspective. Nothing is linear, like as many different ethnic groups, African ethnic groups have already understood. Everything is circular. So that also attaches itself to science coming in from behind and realizing what the philosopher said was true. It's all a circle. That's why solo circles, everything, you're surrounded 360 degrees. And so with a house, when we teach history or when we discuss something, we can't teach like when one thing ends, something has to always begin. No, it's all happening at the same time. The way that you have a singular house, which is one thing, but you have many rooms. In the kitchen, it could be one story. In bedroom one, it could be another story. In bedroom two, it can be another story. In the living room, it could be another story. And all of those stories are happening in one singular house. And so that to me is called nuance. We can't eradicate nuance. So now when we are looking at the discovery of who we are, I believe that the Creator fully knows because He created us fully. The entertainment of it is along our journeys, us discovering it. That's the entertainment. I compare it to, why do you think millions of people for 40 plus decades enjoy wrestling with them already knowing that it's scripted? They all know that every wrestler that goes out there already knows who's going to win. So why do people attend an event with that understanding in play? Because the entertainment is the how. How are they going to win? Is, The Rock going to come from the ropes and drop down and do this kick and do that? Is a person going to come out with the mic and say, yo, 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 I'm bringing my crew out here? That's the entertainment. So both exist. We are discovering in real time through the mistakes, through the falls, through the curated, facilitated choreography of our lives, that at times we think that we are totally in control of everything, and then we realize that we're not. That's why in certain circumstances, it's like, if I'm the cat in the arena that's watching this wrestling match, it's like, no, don't jump there. And I'm fully invested in the how. What keeps people in the seats is the how. So all of it and all of the answers and all of the discoveries and who we are and how do I know that it's, no, you will know through you manifesting the how. Are you going to go right today? Or are you going to go left today? Are you going to go up today? Or are you going to go down today? And all of those circumstances will produce different results.
How do we reconcile control and surrender through the lived experience, through the daily lived experience?
That's such a great question. The surrender is in the fact that I am not alone. So that when I'm making my executive decisions for my life, which is AKA the things that I can control, it will be better decisions because I have perfectly placed where my surrender is. Like, it's not a worldview where I'm just this autonomous figure that's floating through the universe and at some point someone will catch me. It has been orchestrated the same way that I look at the flowers, the same way that I look at insects, animals, and all of these things that have been orchestrated since the beginning of time, and look at the science of it all. Oh, as an artist, I'm so connected to the science of it all because all of it is still creativity, creation. So when I'm looking at the science of it all, it's like, I know I can't control that. So why would I spend 7 hours of my Monday trying to make executive decisions for that? So it's another perspective shift. Oh, I'm not alone. Oh, it is about the how. How am I going to do it? Why am I doing it? Now we're having deeper questions. Now I'm asking myself deeper questions to talk about quote unquote performance. Now people want to see Kara's performance of her life with depth, with context, with nuance. That's true performance, not the performative, but that's truly, to me, perform. That's when you see a choreographer super happy, like, "Ah, let's go." But yes, surrender to me is strictly, I am not alone. It has been orchestrated, beautifully written, and it is for me to not just walk my journey, but enjoy the hell out of my journey. Now I'm at peace with whatever comes my way because all I see, aka spotting, is my assignment. That's all I see.
Before the interview began, you and I were having a very deep conversation. We're going to be fast friends, Kara. Like I know
Yes.
that's happening.
Yeah.
Before the interview, you had shared with me, and I also shared this at the top of the show, that the following words sit with you, and they are: every day we have to fight for something. So fight for your joy. Why do those words resonate with you?
Because I believe that there has been a lot of miseducation, which leads to helping and amplifying the performative worldview that I dislike. And so, with the miseducation, for some reason, we have been telling the next generation that no, 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 this peace thing and you having a nice life looks like this without bringing the reality of no, every day you're fighting for something. You're either fighting for a relationship, you're fighting to get an extra hour, so you turn a lot. It's a struggle from the most minuscule to the most grandiose things that every single day we are fighting for something. And I want everyone to understand that, like, we are fighting for something. It's just that we belittle it. And so sometimes it's like the biggest elephant in the room, like, oh, did I just call 15 times? That is me fighting for something where it's just like this person wronged me. And I just call. No, we have to talk. Don't, that's a fight, and they're not responding, not responding. So I'm just trying to bring up like little things that people like, hold up. Yeah, why did I keep, and they clearly ignore me. That is you using energy, a lot of energy for something to combat something coming off of a feeling of offense or pain or whatever, but you're using the energy. You're using all of your energy for that at that time. And so I'm like, ooh, why can't we use all of that energy for our joy? Why can't we use all of our energy for our peace? Why can't we stand and say, oh, not today? That is a fight. And so I just want more, especially artists. I call myself an artivist because I believe a part of my purpose is specifically for artists, and not just artists but for Black artists in the diaspora, to say that you are worthy. So the whole like miseducation, I know that society likes to make us feel like we don't contribute anything, but it's like I want to dispel that, and that's a part of my purpose. So in that, yo, choose your battles and choose to fight for these things because you're choosing to fight and I'm seeing it, but I want you to choose to fight for your joy. And when you choose to fight for that, everything else falls in line so that you actually have the space to create the work that the world needs to see. And so that's why that's so deep on my heart. Like, fight. Yes, yes. Every day, waking up. gotta stress about, but fight for this. Let's just work on that so that we can get those beautiful, innovative works out there.
Has that clarity shaped your approach to storytelling?
Yes, thank you for asking me that. I look at what I do as a customer service job. I'm serving. I'm serving. And so put that aside. And also at the same time, as I've gotten older, I understood that as an artist, the gift that comes so easily for me, but is super hard for others to understand, is that an artist, or as artists, our blessing and our curse are our emotions. That's our blessing and our curse, because everything emotionally creates what we actually create. So if it's that painting, if it's that score, if it's that dance number, we are able to live consciously and subconsciously at the same time, being able to see things that no other people can see. And because it's something that's so innate, anything that seems easy can easily, from the opposite side, make us feel like, oh, it's nothing. And it's like, no, that's super hard. It's a gift. Artists out there, you are super gifted. And so, with that, I have to do all of the practical things that I discussed before to be able to serve for the present, for the past, which are my ancestors. And so serving the present creates the future innovations. So I'm only looking at it as serving the community. I always say, like, I'm paying my tithes when I do like events. I'm tithing to the community when I invest in the community artistically. Specific, I am giving my 10%, my little contribution. I'm not carrying it all, but I am committed every day of my life to contributing my little bit to this polyrhythmic life that I am a part of, because as an artist, I have to affirm myself. I am gifted. This is a gift, and I have to treat it as such. So, my mind, the renewing of my mind has to happen first so that everything that I do practically falls in alignment with how I think about myself and how I think about what I do. So yeah, I am just a servant.
I think that the preparing of the body and the spirit to tell a story in a manner that does allow for the authentic truth and marriage to the assignment that you shared. I think it requires for me personally a sense of returning to that stillness that we spoke about earlier, a sense of returning to the how, the why that you've been speaking about. And I think it requires as well an attunement and great reflection in thinking about not what's next, because sometimes it's easy to get preoccupied by the what's next, what's coming, but to sit in that awareness that you're speaking of. How much wonderful, authentic, and beautiful truth can come out of that? That really does unveil this opportunity to create that much more deeply.
Yes. Isn't it amazing?
It really is. It really is. I
That
want
is the feeling, Nicole. That is the feeling. See? That right there should never, ever be forgotten. That feeling is what should transform everything. And now, ah, pushing forward the works that will come out of that transformation, that will elevate not just how far you have come through your individual body and or your company. But that is basically like what I seek from anyone that watches me or anything that I create. It has to be either hot or cold, no mid. It has to be like I'm leaning in because this is bothering me, or I'm leaning in because I'm curious, but you have to lean in. And so that takes a deeper work for me to do before I even communicate it to a dancer to manifest. A dancer is a physical manifestation of sound. So if I'm not in tune with the essence of that understanding in my storytelling, then you're getting what happens a lot where the choreographer is like yelling, do it again, do it. No, you didn't do it right. They're just not, they're communicating not necessarily that the dancer isn't doing the practical combination right. It's the tussle and the internal battle of they know what's missing, which is the depth, which is did I go as deep as I could? And maybe possibly I'm just in this room for hours trying to physically get a dancer to show me what was missing. So yeah, that feeling, never forget that feeling, because that's where it is. That is the stillness. That's the peace. That's the square that you stand 10 toes in. And that's where you create your works that will blow the world. I love it.
And we continue to go beneath the soil. Well, thank you, Kara. And folks, please stay with us. We're going to take a break and be right back with more of Kara Mack right after this. Today, you've been listening to the sounds of Cannonball Adderley with Autumn Leaves and John Coltrane with Blue Train. Kara, the Black History Month Music and Dance Bootcamp is a space that invites individuals to step into a very powerful celebration of culture, creativity, and community. And it's an immersive, high-energy experience that's designed to honor the rich legacy of Black artists, musicians, and dancers who have shaped global culture. The boot camp, which goes beyond movement and sound, blending education, history, and artistic expression in a dynamic and engaging environment, is one that you are greatly passionate about. So tell us about the boot camp and how it originated.
Well, I am a professor, dance professor at UC San Diego. It's my third year. And last year I started Black History Month Music and Dance Boot Camp because as I'm in those spaces teaching jazz and teaching ring shout and all, I was like, oh my God, you have hundreds of students that's coming across my face that don't know all of the traditional African American dance vernaculars and music genres. So if they're in jazz, they're like, oh my God, this step looks like a hip hop step. You got jazz, funk, hip hop. That is the trajectory. And so here it is. I said, okay, once again, customer service tied into the community. I started last year with one day. So our workshops back to back to back from 9 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., where we go through all traditional American vernaculars of dance that has its roots in Black people. So you're talking about ring shout, you're talking about juba, patent juba, steppin', jazz, all of the jazz vernacular. So Lindy Hop swing, all of that tap. Then you have hip hop. Then you have Vogue. Then you have all of the HBCU majorette styles that are in the southeast part of the United States. And so that was last year. So this year I expanded it to 2 days. And so this year I changed it by adding an Art Versations town hall where people actually sit and listen to Black history topics, what we're going to do in the present, and how we're going to affect the future with guest Raphael Thomas, who is Taylor Swift's main dancer, danced also for Janet Jackson and Mariah Carey. We're going through all of the Black American vernaculars so that more and more people can understand that there are traditional Black American dance vernaculars cultivated here in the US. So it won't be any misconception or people not knowing. That's what that is.
And where can folks learn more?
They can go to www.africainamericallc.com. I'm really, really, really trying to uplift the work that my ancestors did, educate people so that we see more nuance, depth in our creative works in the future.
All right. Well, Kara, I have to tell you, it has been such a delight to share time and conversation with you. I'm looking so forward to doing this again in person.
Yes, I would love to.
I am. I'm looking so forward to doing this again with you. You've been absolutely wonderful. Thank you for the depth of your shares today and for spending time with me on the show.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for your beautiful, kind, and sweet spirit and actually asking these important questions. It's very rare for me to like dig into my like, ooh, how do I feel about that bag? And without you doing the work to actually produce these questions, we wouldn't have these conversations being produced. So thank you so much, Nicole.
Oh, thank you. I receive it and I appreciate that so much, Kara. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Yes, bless.
Our featured guest, Kara Mack's contributions extend to the Black Panther franchise, including providing choreography for the first trailer release of Black Panther Wakanda Forever at Comic-Con 2022 and collaborating on the Actively Black and Marvel's Black Panther Collections launch. Kara's academic and community engagement includes being invited as faculty to Yale University's first festival celebrating vernacular dance in America and teaching African diasporic movement and commercial dance there. She has also conducted a commercial dance series at Loyola Marymount University, served as an artist in residence at the Debbie Allen Dance Academy, and is the founder of Africa in America, an online resource for African diasporic musicians and dancers. She has been featured on KPBS and has led traditional West African dance for the Remembrance in Los Angeles. To learn more about Kara Mack, visit turnoutradio.com. Welcome back to Turnout Radio. I've been sitting down inside this hour with choreographer, creative director, performer, and founder of Africa in America, Kara Mack, who stepped behind the mic with me today to explore thoughts about the stillness, manifesting the how, fighting for our joy, and so much more. And folks, if you missed the top of the interview, we invite you to catch it again, coming soon to turnoutradio.com, ciut.fm, and some of your favorite podcast platforms where this episode will soon be streaming. Many thanks to Kara for joining me on the show, and a shout out to Elka Samuels Smith, founder and executive director of Divine Rhythm Productions, for bringing us together for today's segment. Well, we are celebrating and honoring Black history. And I want to take a moment to share some of the spaces that Turnout Radio will be visiting this month, in the great hopes that you can join us there. The Kumba Festival is on now, and it's presented by TD Bank Group through the TD Ready Commitment. This year's edition celebrates the rich histories, achievements, and creative brilliance of Black communities across North America. It's framed within a dynamic global perspective and guided by the unifying theme, Sounds of Blackness. Kumba 2026 will feature a vibrant lineup of programming spanning music, literature, dance, theater, wellness, family-friendly events, and master classes, amplifying Afro-Caribbean and Canadian artists and thought leaders to create a powerful platform for reflection, celebration, and future-focused dialogue. It's all taking place at Harborfront Center, and information can be found at harborfrontcenter.com. Also, we hope you can join us at Continuing the Work, a free dance immersion in studio showcase celebrating young Black Toronto-based dance artists. The event takes place February 21st at Canada's National Ballet School in Studio 5A, and will include performances, a discussion, a community dance circle, and will feature original works in progress across a range of dance styles. Friends, I am so pleased to be moderating the discussion that evening and look forward to joining you there. For more information, visit danceimmersion.ca. Now, these are just a couple of places we'll be at this month, but for the full rundown, stay connected with us via our website, social media platforms, or email our production team for information at turnoutradio@ciut.fm. Well, I've had quite a few requests from you inquiring about some of the books I've been reading on the show and what is currently on my book list. Well, right now, the book on my mantle is by the great Bell Hooks and is called All About Love. If you're looking for this one and you're in Toronto, you may want to check out a downtown store called A Different Book List. The African Canadian owned store specializes in rich literature of the African and Caribbean diaspora and the global South, while showcasing the catalogs of major publishers and small presses. They can be found at adifferentbooklist.com. And hey, if you're outside of Toronto, wherever it is that you pick up your favorite books, I hope that you can find this one. I've been truly enjoying the read. Well, folks, this brings us to a close of today's episode. Thank you for tuning in to share time and rhythm with us. Join us again next week for more of Turnout Radio right here on CIUT 89.5 FM. I'm Nicole Inica Hamilton. I hope your week finds you turning out to dance.